You are watching Sammy, the Interviewing Toucan, made possible by the Indiana Young Readers Center. Hey, everybody, I'm Sammy, and I'm so excited. I'm here today with Mike Mullen. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Sammy.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great. Gosh, it's great to see you. You know, you and I have talked before, and I
Yeah.
guess it's a good thing that we're separated by virtuality, huh?
Yeah, I think I owe you an apology, Sammy.
Okay, I'll hear it.
Well, the last couple times we've talked, I've been really scared of you because I thought you were probably that huge beak. It's so sharp and so pointy and I thought you were going to eat my eyes.
Well, that's true. You have had that thought in the past, and I accept your apology. And I just want to let you know, my beak is made of corduroy. It's really
Corduroy,
soft.
really?
Yeah,
Well, but I read up on toucans and I understand that you eat fruit and insects. How do
yeah.
you eat insects with corduroy? I don't understand.
Well, my life as a toucan is slightly different from, maybe the typical toucan life. For
Oh,
yeah, I don't have legs.
what?
I don't fly. I spend my life interviewing authors. It's a great
Oh,
life. I love it, really.
no legs, no flying though. Oh, that sounds hard.
But look, I get to wear this button.
Oh, that's really nice. That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Wow.
Well, enough about me. I accept your apology. I love that we're going to
Oh
start a
wait,
new. Yes?
do you eat insects? Because that's what I read, that toucans eat insects, not
I
us.
eat dust. That's what I eat.
You eat dust.
Yep.
Maybe the
As
dust mites provide some nourishment.
Okay, Mike. So can you tell me a little bit about yourself and your connection to Indiana? I think you have a deep, long connection. Is that right?
Yeah, I grew up in Indiana. I wasn't born here. I was born in Denver, but my family moved here when I was 4 years old, and I've lived here ever since. So that makes it, oh geez, it seems like about 107 years now. No, it's not that long. I did live elsewhere. I lived in Brazil, Washington, D.C., Brazil, the country, not the city, Washington, D.C., St. Louis, and Cincinnati for a little bit. But I came back to Indiana, and I really like it here. It's
That
a great area, a great city, a great state. I really enjoyed it.
And can you tell us a little bit about your work? I know you write the Ashfall series. You have another book called Surface Tension that's out. What else can you tell us about your work?
Yeah, there are 5 books that I've published. I've written 8 books, and 5 of them have been published. There's the Ashfall trilogy, which is Ashfall, Ash and Winter, and Sunrise. There's also a novelette called Darla's Story you can read in that group. And then I've written a novel called Surface Tension, which is set in Indianapolis and in 4 of Indianapolis's libraries.
Ah, that's so great. Everybody go out and read Surface Tension because it's set in libraries. That's fantastic.
Thanks.
I know that your books can be a little bit scary sometimes. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to write the kind of thing I like to read and like to read as a teenager, and that makes them very fast-paced, page turners, lots of action, I guess you'd call, and some of that can be kind of scary. I remember after my mother read Ashfall, she said it gave her nightmares,
Mm.
and I thought, ah, that's excellent. Good
Well,
job.
and shout out to your mom because she's awesome. She's an Indianapolis treasure. Really knows so much about children's literature. So the fact that you were able to give her nightmares is probably a pretty big compliment, I would think.
I took it as a compliment, yes, although that probably means I'm a terrible son. But yeah, absolutely. Shout out to my mother. I wouldn't be an author today if not for her. She was a teacher before I was born, a librarian while I was growing up, and now is a bookstore owner. And so I've been immersed in books for as long as I've known my mother, which turns out to be my whole life.
Funny how that works out. I can't
It's
say the
amazing.
same,
Yeah.
about my mother. But
Yeah.
anyway, so are you working on anything now?
Yeah, I'm writing a 4th Ashfall book, which is very, very late, much delayed. I'm sorry about that to those of you who are waiting. And I'm also working on a middle grade survival story.
Oh, wonderful. How exciting. So Mike, where would you say you are in your creative journey and where do you hope to be someday?
I, I felt like early in my career, I was able to write very fearlessly, and I would like to get back to that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that answered your question or not, but that's honestly where I feel my creative journey is right now. I
I
feel
think
like
that's a
I'm mired in a lot of fear, and I want to get past that.
well, take a brave pill if that
Yeah.
exists. And
Uh, I
I
will
would
show you
just
the brave pill. Do you want to see the brave pill?
I maybe.
This book is awesome. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I love
Awesome.
it.
Yeah.
Who's the author?
This is by Ralph Keyes.
Cool.
There's a great story in here. It's about James Joyce, and he's writing Ulysses, right?
Yep.
And one of his friends or confidants comes into the room and finds him lying on the floor moaning, which is evidently a frequent thing.
Hmm.
And he and his friend says to James Joyce, "So what's the problem, James?" And he said, "Oh, I wrote 7 words today." And the friend says, "Oh, that's great. You rarely write that much. Awesome, good job." And I'm paraphrasing a little, obviously. And James Joyce holds his head and says, "Oh, but I don't know what order they go in."
Oh my gosh.
Which I
That's
think is
very
hilarious.
Joycean, isn't it? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
7 words. Oh, all right. Well, I always like to do a show and tell with my authors. Do you have
Oh
anything you
yeah.
want to share with us today?
Sure. I thought this was kind of cool. This is actually some dust, I guess. Since you're a dust
I'm into
eating
dust.
toucan, I thought you might find this really interesting. This is some dust that helped me to write Ashfall, and it is actual ash from a volcano.
Oh
See how
my
fine? I
goodness.
don't know if
I
you can even see
do.
that in the
Yeah.
video.
Is it
How
kind of
fine that is.
grainy feeling?
It's smoother than sand because the grains are actually microscopic, so
Oh my
it's more
goodness.
silky feeling than grainy feeling. It doesn't feel at all like sand would running through your fingers. Uh, but anyway, this is dust from a volcano in Alaska. And I ordered
Wow.
it while I was writing Ashfall. I didn't feel like I had a good enough handle on what it was like to be immersed in this sort of dust. And so I ordered this from a scientific supply company. And I used to keep it on this very desk. I wrote a lot of Ashfall here in its great big open bowl. And then my cat found it. And now I keep it, what's left. Yeah, I'll just leave it to your imagination what happened when my
I'm
cat found it.
imagining.
Yeah. And so what's left, I keep in this nice little Tupperware container, very well sealed so that my cat can't destroy it again.
So when you were writing, would you sort of run your fingers through it if you needed
Yeah,
a little bit
absolutely.
of, oh, I love that.
And smell it. Although it doesn't smell much, fresh ash smells a lot more. It has more of the sulfur dioxide
Smoky and yeah.
clinging to it. But still, it just, I realized at some point that I needed to be more immersed in the world I was trying to create, and the ash really helps. So,
I am always fascinated by the things that authors do to research their books.
yeah, I do
So
tons
cool.
of research. I go visit the places I'm writing about. I read lots. A lot of the books on the bookshelf back there are books I read either for the Ashfall trilogy or for Surface Tension. I can tell you lots of research stories.
Love it. Well, maybe we'll save those for our next interview. Mike, it's been awesome talking to you. I accept your
Yeah,
apology.
I apologize again, Sammy.
Thank you. I accept. Well, everybody, this is your favorite Hoosier Toucan encouraging you to read local. So long. Bye, Mike.
Bye, Sammy.